None of that. But something you forgot. See, everybody's forgotten something. You left it out. Just missed it. See? And so I can bring this out, what you've forgotten, if I ask you, who are you? Well, you say, I'm Paul Jones, or whatever your name happens to be. I say, oh, no. Don't give me that stuff. Who are you, really? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you, really?
In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we are live. Chris Perkowski, welcome back. Just did our little intro plug. We've got new mic stands.
Yeah.
For those of you listening, probably won't make a difference. But we've got them, so just imagine them in your head. So, Chris, let's talk some New York baseball. Let's just hit the ground running with this. Let's start with your New York Yankees, the AAA first place New York Yankees. What the fuck's going on,
Unbelievable.
man?
They started the season 6-9. They're 31-10 since then. Fucking unbelievable, man. I can curse on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
You can curse all you want.
Yeah, man. Paxton's back, threw a gem yesterday in 4, limited pitches, but was literally had no hits. So, the rotation looks solid. Domingo Germán has put it all together this season. And then with all the injuries, Stanton, Judge, Andujar, Didi. So you've got a guy like Gio Urshela, who they took from the Indians because the Indians were like, this guy can't hit. And the Yankees like, all right, we'll take him. He's got a good glove. And the guy's hitting like 330.
But you know what's crazy? I feel like it's just formulaic for the Yankees at this point. You guys catch lightning in a bottle all the time.
Absolutely.
I don't know how you do it.
Brian Cashman.
Is it Cashman as much as it is the coaching staff?
I think it's probably a mix of both coaching staff. Is
there some hidden knowledge in the Yankee clubhouse, like an ancient tome?
Maybe. But, I think it's probably a bit of the mix of the scouting department. They seem to have a really great judge of talent, especially hidden talent. Like I said, guys like Urshela and finding Cameron Maybin off the street, who's been really great.
Cameron Maybin, former Marlin great.
Former Marlin legend. And then, I was really sour on Aaron Boone last season, and I think he's done an excellent job. I don't think that you can really complain about the manager who's taken the roster that they have this season and be first place in the AL East. Like I said, going 31-10 in their last 41 games. I don't think you can complain about the manager. He's done an unbelievable job this year.
Well, I mean, anytime a manager has to deal with injuries to a superstar lineup,
it's make or break.
It's make or break, and not only that, it's a reflection of the. Put it this way, clubs that what did you say they went 31-10? 31-10. You don't go 31-10 without a leader.
Exactly.
You don't go 31-10 without being behind your manager. It just doesn't happen.
His bullpen management is still a little iffy. He's putting guys like Jonathan Holder, who's really struggling. He's putting him in like high leverage situations still that I'm really questionable on. But aside from that, like I've got no complaints from the guy. He's getting the most out of his players, and I keep going back to a guy like Urshela, who's making it so that they just absolutely cannot take him out of the lineup.
It looks that way.
Yeah.
Compromises have to be made.
Absolutely.
If you're hitting, you're hitting.
Yeah, and Andujar's done for the season. He had the shoulder surgery, torn labrum. Stanton's back in, it looks like maybe 2 weeks. Didi's going to be back in like 2 weeks as well. Come next season, if Urshela, it's a big if Urshela can continue the way he's hitting for the full season, then they've got an awesome problem to have going into next season. Do they keep Andujar? Because the guy is completely defensively challenged.
Without question.
And Urshela he's a gem. He's a gem in the field. And, if, like I said, if he can keep the bat alive for, another 100 games or wherever we are, that kind of...
It's going to pay dividends.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to pay dividends to the future.
And it's, because you're wondering, all right, so then does Andujar become a full-time DH? But then, it looks like Clint Frazier might be the full-time left fielder next year, even though he's defensively challenged as well. But if he's the starting left fielder, then that means Stanton's got a DH. They're not going to trade Stanton.
No.
So that makes Andujar expendable. Do they get a starter for him?
I was going to say, what do you think you could get for Andujar? I feel like you could get, at the very least, a solid bullpen arm.
Absolutely, I think you could get a bullpen.
And that's worth something these days.
From a team, Andujar is a guy with his bat as potent as it is. Any team is going to be going for him, honestly. And he's young.
You can afford it.
He's 23 or something like that, you know?
That's true. He does have time to learn.
Yeah.
He does have time to learn.
Yeah. So, and the difference between, like I said, Frazier's defensively challenged, but it seems like the issue with Frazier is his route running, which is something you could fix like that.
Yeah.
So, the thing with Andujar is like his footwork, his throws are inaccurate, his glove work. He doesn't know where to stand. It's a lot of issues that are going to take a lot of time to fix, or just won't be fixed. He might have to move to first base, or he might become a full-time DH. And in that case, I think you're going to find any team that's going to take him. Not that I'm saying that the Yankees should trade him, but this is all.
It's all hypotheticals.
Exactly. This is all if Urshela can continue this, at the pace he's on, which is a big if. He's completely unproven. But, again, the past 3 minutes of me talking might be all worthless because the guy could go 0 for 500 for the rest of the season.
Well, who knows? Maybe you'll be a seer. Maybe you saw into the future. Maybe you knew. Man, it's an exciting time if you're a Yankee fan.
Absolutely. I was in Delaware for a family thing, and I went to Casino Dover Downs where they have sports gambling. And I put $40 on the Yankees. If they win the World Series, I'm in $240, baby.
There you go. It's not bad. It's not a bad bet. It's not a bad bet. Speaking of which, I don't know if I ever brought this up to you. I probably have. Do you remember when I was in Vegas and I called you?
Yeah, you asked me. Yeah.
I was like, yo, I'm thinking of betting on the Red Sox. But I was like, I'm kind of thinking the Rays, and I think
the Rays. I was like, I think the Rays have got it. Their pitching is great. Yeah, and then they just fucking fell apart in the playoffs.
You deserve none of the blame. You deserve no blame for me losing my money. My mistakes are my own.
How much did you put down on that?
Oh, I put $80.
Oh, you would have had a nice win with the Red Sox.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Man. If the Red Sox won, I would have been in like $5,000.
They did win. That was 2013.
That's what I meant. If I had bet on them, I would have won like $5,000. I think it was.
Oh my god.
It's all good.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I just, it was a lesson for me. It's like, just trust yourself, man.
Right.
Trust yourself. Your trust was worth $5,000 in one night.
Right.
So I learned a big lesson. I learned a big lesson.
It was probably a little biased that I was like, yo, fuck the Red Sox.
That's true. Yeah, we were young and foolish.
Yeah, but looking back, I think the Red Sox was the smarter bet, but I was just like, I like the underdog.
The Rays were hot though. That's the thing. This was in the middle of July.
They had a crazy run. Going into the playoff break, the All-Star break.
So the prediction was justified, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Anything else you wanna touch on your Yankees?
No, man. No complaints for No complaints. I feel like the little first time in a little while for me with the Yankees. No complaints at all.
Things are looking good. Well, 31-10 in the last fucking 41 games. What are you gonna do?
Exactly.
Good for you guys.
You want to talk about?
I want to talk about the Mets. I want to talk about the good first.
Okay.
I want to talk about the good first.
Pete Alonso.
First and foremost, Jeff McNeil.
Yeah, but he's on the IL now.
I know.
But
he'll be all right.
He's crazy.
He'll be all right. I love the man.
My only issue is the way that Callaway uses him.
I couldn't agree more.
He's an infielder. Second base, third base. Play him there. Why is he playing left field and looking completely out of place?
Callaway is a whole other issue I don't even want to get into right now. But starting with the good.
Yeah.
Jeff McNeil.
Yeah.
Love the guy.
I think
level
he's awesome.
Swing. Hits to all fields.
Awesome.
Runs hard on every play. Defensively sound wherever we place him, but he belongs in the infield.
Yes.
I agree with you. And now let's talk about Pete Alonso. And I just want to say what a state of affairs it is for the New York Mets fan base that we have a guy who's chasing down Mark McGwire's rookie record, hits 2 bombs last night, and we lose.
Yeah.
Just like you can't lose a game where DeGrom gives up 1 run. You can't lose a game where Alonso hits 2 bombs. Nope. You don't. That's not how you're going to win.
That was last night's game, right? They blew it with.
They blew it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Blew it.
Look, it's unforgivable.
We can move on. We can move into what we don't like. I It's hard. I don't like Mickey Callaway.
The only complaint with Alonso, I feel, and I'm sorry, we'll get back to Callaway.
Cool.
The only complaint I have with Alonso is he seems to be. It looks like he's back now but like 2 or 3 weeks, he was like changing his approach at the plate and trying to pull the ball more. Like, man, you're clubbing home runs to the opposite field. Just keep doing what you're doing.
I agree, but maybe that's just who he's been. Maybe he's always been a guy to just adjust randomly.
Maybe it was weird. It was just really weird. I went to the game last Saturday, and he had 2 or 3 at bats where he like looked miserable at the plate, trying to hit the ball out of the stadium, and like was getting fooled on changeups and stuff, like swinging on it, like landing on his knee.
Off his game.
And I feel like for like a week or two before that as well, it looked like he was just trying to pull the ball on every at bat, and it's just like, do what's working for you, man.
He's gonna learn. He's a rookie. He's gonna learn. Also, in good time.
The Mets have a terrible hitting coach in Chili Davis.
I couldn't agree more. Chili Davis
maybe he's the one that's like, hey man, why don't we fix your swing? And he's like,
because he wants credit. No, fuck Chili Davis. He wants some kind of credit.
There's a reason that Chili Davis has been run out of Boston and Oakland as a hitting coach. He's terrible. No, and the Mets were like, oh yeah, Chili Davis.
No, because the Mets are
1998.
Because here's what the Mets do. Oakland does something. Boston steals it.
Yes.
Then the Mets try to take it from Boston, but it's a game of telephone.
Right.
So like, there's a couple screws loose now because you went to fucking Boston. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look,
but Callaway.
Callaway.
Yeah.
I don't hate the guy. I
think, and I talked about this on. We recorded last night with Brian McCormick and Andrew Parker from Picked Last Podcast. Nice little shout out. Brian was saying, and I agree. Callaway's a good coach, but he's an awful manager.
Yeah, he'd work much better if he was like a bench coach. I think he'd be a great bench coach.
He was a pitching coach in Cleveland, and that's where that was his bread and butter.
Yeah.
But then now he can't even manage his pitchers. You've got the Cy Young Award winner who's got like a 3.8 ERA. You got Noah Syndergaard who's like a 4.8 ERA.
Can't get it together.
Wheeler's been all right, but still, exactly, yeah.
Matz has been looking better lately.
Yeah,
and
then Jason Vargas is just like he should be shot into the sun.
Trash. Him and Todd Frazier. I think if we could just get rid of
Todd Frazier.
Frazier's garbage. Frazier is garbage. There's no reason
I don't know why they
should be at third and Jeff McNeil should be in the outfield. It's
absolute garbage. There's no spot for Todd Frazier on the team.
Absolute garbage.
But
trash.
But isn't he? I think he's a Brody guy.
I don't care.
Yeah.
He's garbage.
I know.
He's garbage.
No, and dude, if you remember my first episode,
I know.
I told the story about Todd Frazier.
You were right.
Yeah.
You were fucking right.
So, Todd Frazier, like, I didn't understand the signing last year. It didn't make any sense to me then. When a guy like Mike Moustakas was on the market and you needed a lefty bat.
I know. I wanted Moustakas that entire offseason. I was like, oh my God. The fact we were like a week from spring training and he still didn't sign, I was like, Jesus Christ, we can get him for cheap.
Yeah.
Somebody do something. But fuck. Anyway.
And now he's going to be an all-star with the Brewers this season.
Oh, who saw that coming? Oh, gee, who would have guessed Mike Moustakas, former all-star, would be an all-star?
Who would have guessed Todd Frazier, former 200 hitter, would be a 200 hitter?
Oh, man, didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
But, you know, analytics, right?
Yeah. But, man, like, just fuck Todd Frazier. He fucking sucks at all aspects of the game.
He's garbage.
Yeah, and then...
That's the only word for him.
And then we
don't even have to go into detail.
No, yeah, he's garbage.
He's garbage.
But then the other thing, and he still hasn't played this season, I still don't get the Jed Lowry signing. What sense did it make when you've got Jeff McNeil? He is Jeff McNeil. McNeil is Lowry.
Here's kind of where I'm with. Jed Lowry.
And unfortunately, while he shouldn't have been there, you already had Frazier.
Here's where the Jed Lowry thing makes sense. Jed Lowry makes sense in a world where you were getting rid of Todd Frazier, and Jed Lowry became the infielder plan B with Jeff McNeil as infielder plan A.
Yeah.
Jeff McNeil had a red hot second half last season. Mm-hmm. God knows I didn't shut the fuck up.
when he debuted, yeah.
I didn't shut the fuck up about it.
He hit like 360 to start his career.
Exactly. It was the Jeff McNeil era. Anyway.
Yeah, no, you're right. If they were to trade or release Frazier, then that signing would make sense.
And use Lowry as like plan B. Yeah. That made sense to me.
And use Lowry as what the Yankees are using DJ LeMahieu as.
Perfect.
Yeah, but Lowry's hurt, so it's all for naught. But,
Lowry's hurt. As far as I'm concerned, Frazier can get hurt. Callaway can get hurt.
Now,
Davis can get hurt.
The 4-game sweep of the Nationals is the worst thing that could have possibly happened to the Mets because it bought Mickey Callaway at least another month.
You might not be wrong. Truthfully.
They could have and should have just fired him after the Marlins series. You can't get swept by the Marlins and score like 2 runs in 3 games against the fucking Marlins.
It's hard because you have to keep the team together.
Sure.
Right?
And it seems like the players like Callaway. Like it doesn't seem like the players, want him to get fired. But
so you can't. I understand that because who becomes a manager? You can't destabilize the clubhouse.
I mean, they hired Jim Riggleman as the bench coach, and Jim Riggleman has made a career out of replacing guys mid-season.
Riggleman.
He has become interim manager in the middle of the season 3 times in his career.
Jesus Christ.
Most recently, last season with the Reds. And so when they hired him as the bench coach, everybody was like, "Oh, so the writing's on the wall with Mickey Callaway."
Good. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I like Callaway. I like him. I just don't want him managing the New York
seems
Mets.
like a good guy, but he's just not a good manager.
I didn't invite him to my barbecue. I just don't want him managing my sports club.
Like I said, we talked about putting McNeil in left field. I feel like he doesn't have good evaluation of positional value, where he mixes up his outfielders and stuff. Conforto should be in left field full-time. He's a left fielder. Nimmo should be in right field full-time. He's a right fielder. And he's done that. But then, there are games where he puts both guys in center field, and they're not good center fielders. They just don't have the route-running ability or the range to play center field.
Yeah. I want to leave it at this. The Mets are in a unique position. They've got 2 or 3 years to put something together.
Absolutely.
Because
the core's there.
The core is there, and the core is growing.
Yeah.
And the lineup is young.
Yeah.
And shockingly, the pitching's starting to get a little older.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's look, you got 2 or 3 years before this pitching is gone.
Exactly, and then that's it. Yeah.
So it's I don't need that. I want the Mets to win the World Series.
Yeah.
There's a delusional part of me right now that says they can do it. You gotta believe.
They can pull it together.
You gotta believe.
They did this in 2015.
Exactly. So there's that part of me is there. But what I really need from the Mets this season is for them not to be out of it in August.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just be in it.
They need to add a bullpen arm by the All-Star break. If they're still in it, I think they need to add another bullpen arm.
I think so,
yeah.
too. But we'll see. Hopefully next time I have
Jason
you on.
Vargas. Replace Jason Vargas.
Honestly,
the draft is on Monday. And after that, the draft is on Monday, and after that, Keuchel and Kimbrel do not cost a draft pick. There's no draft compensation to sign them. So maybe they'll wait. Maybe they'll do it then. But that'd be a smart thing to do. So
this is good because that's going to give Mets fans hope, and Mets fans like that. So let's leave it at that. So what else you got going on when you're not baseballing?
Not much, man. I just finished school. I'm going back to school to get my teaching degree. So I just finished my first year back.
Very cool. That's dope.
So, but other than that, I'm a big movie guy.
Yes.
Yeah. I just saw John Wick Chapter 3 last week.
I haven't seen any John Wick.
So the John Wick movies,
but they seem cool. They seem fun.
When the first John Wick came out, and everybody was like, "Oh, this movie's unbelievable," I was like, "Really?
John
Is it?"
Wick?
Oh, and then it took me 5 years to see it, and so then I finally saw it, and I was like, "This is fucking incredible." And it's the action sequences, the choreography, the fight choreography is unmatched, and Keanu fucking rocks my fucking socks off, man.
No, Keanu's good for everything.
And you can see that he's doing the stunts. He's 50 and he's doing his own stunts in the fight scenes. It's unreal. And
he's a baller.
Yeah. But probably my favorite thing in the whole series is the world building. They put a lot of effort into the world building to the point that it's okay, it's this they're assassins, hitmen kind of deal, and it's they all use the same currency, these gold coins, and so then there's rules that in this particular hotel no business can be conducted there, so it's it's a safe haven for hitmen and stuff, that they won't be killed there, and it's just everything. There's so much effort put into it, and with each new each new addition to the series, you get a little more piece of that world building of because you're wondering why is this, what's that, with John Wick, you're how does he get this, where did he get this fighting ability? And then in John Wick Chapter 3 just now, we find out that as a kid he was in this Russian orphanage, and they there was a fight club in it, and you're oh, okay, I get it now.
So they're constantly building their lore.
Yeah, and it's really, it's really smart, great writing. The direction is awesome. if you can look up videos, like Keanu does his own like shooting and stuff. There's like 5-minute videos of him in the desert, like target practice with like assault rifles and stuff.
That's sick.
Yeah, and like, so you can tell like all the reloading and everything like that. Like he's just, it's all fucking him. I can't gush enough about the John Wick series. It's probably my favorite film series of all time.
The Landy Lodge, sponsored by
John Wick.
The John Wick series. Oh man, that's pretty cool. I don't know. I don't see many movies anymore. I'll still watch them.
Yeah.
I'll still go to the theater, or if like there's a night where I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'll watch something that like I probably should have watched 10 years ago, but I'll just decide to watch today. But
yeah, like I just watched like this movie that came out in like 2015 called Green Room. It's like a horror thriller with Patrick Stewart.
Never even heard of it.
It's like this punk band is playing a show, and the show is at this like kind of bar that's run by like neo-Nazis, and they see a murder, and then they're trying to be held captive by the neo-Nazis, and they got to fight their way out of it, and it's like gory as shit, and it's a wild ride, and Patrick Stewart plays a neo-Nazi, and I wasn't expecting it at all. So, like,
I mean, he's bald enough for it.
Yeah, but like it's a great horror movie. If any of you guys are horror fans and you haven't seen Green Room, I highly recommend Green Room. It's a really fun watch, and only like an hour 30 minutes.
That's good. It's hard for horror movies to reel me in.
Yeah.
There are some good ones, and
Not
there's
a
some
horror
ones
guy.
I love. I'm not a big horror guy. I've got a soft spot for like the killers, like
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger and Jason, and but I'm not really a horror guy.
Okay.
I've always what I miss. I miss like summers filled with comedies, like good comedies.
Oh, there's good comedies are really hard to come by now.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
They don't
know what it
sell
is,
like
man.
they used to. I mean, if you remember, like when we were in high school, like that's what sold. Like Wedding Crashers is what hit the box office.
Yeah.
Pineapple Express is what hit the box office.
Superbad, Knocked Up.
That's
yeah.
what crushed. But it doesn't
Step
crush
Brothers,
anymore.
yeah, stuff like
Comic book movies crush now.
that.
Now,
exactly.
It's a shame.
But also, I think the issue is that the comedies that are coming out now are. I feel like they're trying too hard to be those movies,
Yeah,
and
they're not trying to
they
do that.
suck.
Yeah, because it's like a second rate. It's like nobody wants a photocopy.
Right.
Paint
Absolutely.
me something genuine.
I feel like movies like the first Hangover was enormous, and for good reason. And then they were like, all right, perfect. We made like $200 million. Let's make this movie 2 more times. Just the same thing. Really cash in.
Well, because the mistake with that was like it's so blind. It's so blind because part of the appeal of The Hangover is you don't know what's coming.
Right.
You have no idea what's coming. Catches you by surprise.
And then when you make 2 more sequels, it's like, all right, well, one of them's gonna get lost, and then they have to find that guy, and there's gonna be hijinks along the way.
We're gonna wake up in a place we don't recognize.
Yeah.
Have to piece everything together. Yeah. It's I don't know.
Yeah. It should have ended at 1, but studios are gonna try to make money off of anything they can. And
did any Judd Apatow films get a sequel?
No, not that I know of. Well, you know what?
There's what's that movie?
This is 40 is a loose sequel to Knocked Up because it's the same Paul Rudd and Leslie Mann, same characters from Knocked Up. Yeah, but other than that, yeah.
But that's kind of speaks to I guess what I was gonna what I say. Praise him for is
he likes
when
to
he
keep
did
it original.
when he did a sequel, he didn't just copy the first one.
Yeah,
he did just a completely different thing, which is funny because Get Him to the Greek wasn't an Apatow film, but it's kind of the same idea,
right?
Where it was like,
and it's still a loose sequel to Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I miss
movies like that. Absolutely,
I miss summer comedies.
Yeah, I'm with you pretty much there.
But comic book movies are fun.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's any coming out soon.
Spider-Man Far From Home, July.
Yeah.
That's the soonest one I can think of.
I didn't even see the first one. So
you didn't see Homecoming?
I didn't see Homecoming.
It's top 3 Marvel movie for me.
Well, I'm going to see Into the Spider-Verse first.
Into the Spider-Verse is unbelievable.
I heard that was amazing.
It's not in the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
but that's the Spider-Man
dude,
thing.
it's so really fucking good.
I'm going to go on a Spider-Man tear because it's on deck for a game I'm going to stream. I'm actually going to stream all of Spider-Man on the PS4.
Oh, okay.
And that's when
I
I
still
watch
have
the
to play
movies.
that. I've heard it's so good.
It's supposed to be amazing. Yeah. I remember I had the one on PS2 back in the day.
Oh, yeah, me too.
It blew my mind. Dude, the way you could just swing around the city.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first open world
experiences
I ever had.
I would just do that for hours.
It was relaxing.
Yeah. And I loved the what's the dude's name? Oh man, the he was in like every of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. He was like the ring announcer for the wrestling in the first one. He was in Evil Dead, but Bruce Campbell.
Okay.
That's the guy's name. So he narrated like the Spider-Man game, the first one, like when you're doing the training and stuff.
Yes.
And he's like, all right, so you're gonna do this, and like one of the things he's like, and I still remember it because it was so like just silly and funny. He's like, all right, so you're gonna try web slinging. I'm gonna go get a ham sandwich. And then the next thing
remember that.
And then the next
I
thing he
remember
comes
that
back
line.
and he's like, okay, so you're gonna hit X and you're gonna shoot a web.
See, that's why I like
Yeah.
Spider-Man too, because Spider-Man always gives the effort to make you laugh.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is not present in many comic book movies anymore, which is a little disappointing. Marvel's done really well at it lately.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the most recent Marvel movies have been pretty funny. I'm excited for Guardians 3. That's probably
yeah.
the Marvel movie I'm looking the most forward to.
Yeah.
Is Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I'm excited as hell for that. Are you looking forward to Star Wars Episode 9?
You know what? I am. There was a lot of. Did you like Last Jedi? Because I liked it. I had some issues with it. I didn't like the Leia force flying through space, but
here's what I'm saying. I loved about 25% of it.
Really?
Loved.
Okay.
I liked maybe 10.
And then you hated the rest of it.
Disliked another 30 and then hated the rest.
Okay.
I really did not like the movie. I liked Force Awakens.
I love
it. Was
Force
very
Awakens.
safe.
Yeah.
We've all seen episode 4 again.
Yeah.
It was very safe, but it was fun. It was a good time, good humor, fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
Last Jedi was just to me kind of a mess. There were a lot of like any scene with Kylo and Rey I actually loved.
I did too.
I loved any scene with Kylo and Rey.
The fight scene in the Red Room,
the throne room,
is probably the
awesome.
best fight scene in any Star Wars movie ever.
It's up there. It really is a fantastic scene.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This is part of this 25% I absolutely loved about this movie.
Yeah, I love the development between Kylo and Rey.
I loved the scene with Yoga. The scene with Yoda and Luke.
Oh, and Luke
with the
gets,
church is burning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he thinks the books
sacred
are in there.
Jedi texts.
Yeah, exactly.
I love
Chad Vader.
Yeah, so
not Chad Vader. Chad Skywalker. Jeff Skywalker. That's the joke.
Here's the thing that I loved about that, like, with Luke, when he sees R2, and he like, and Luke's voice kind of goes back to him as like young Luke, and he's like, R2.
Exactly. He's like a kid.
Yeah. It melted my heart.
Well, you see, Mark Hamill actually wanted to do more of that.
Yeah.
He was begging Disney to let Luke, Han, and Leia come back together again. The three of them never came back together.
Yes.
So he was
Han
begging them to
in
do
Force
that,
Awakens,
and they were just like, no, we're not about it.
Yeah.
So in the second movie, there's a scene where he sees C-3PO for the first time. Mm-hmm. And nothing happens.
Yeah.
But Mark Hamill did an entire take where he had a reunion with C-3PO because it was just like what you picked up with R2.
Yeah.
R2. He did something with 3PO like that too. And that's a deeper bond because that was his father's droid.
Right.
And he did this whole scene and they cut it from the film.
Yeah. But then he did. I know he did complain about the way that the script was written and everything like that. But then in a later interview, he said that I take it back. I like what happened. So who knows?
No, he's still bitching. He's still bitching. I
No,
follow the Mark Hamill bitching saga.
Oh, okay.
And he's still bitching. He just sometimes has to toe the company line because they pay him, which is why they had him drink the milk on that island randomly. Because it's like, oh, Luke, you're gonna bitch? Drink the milk. You're getting that paycheck, Luke. Mm-hmm. You're getting that paycheck. I love Mark Hamill. I think most of his bitching is justified. I agree with most of his bitching. I just think he should do less bitching. He should have bitched when the trilogy was done. not in between episodes.
Right.
But I don't know. It was a mess. They ruined Finn. What the hell is Finn?
Hated the Finn.
What the hell is Finn now?
Finn
wasted arc.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
wasted arc.
His story arc.
He was probably he was the most exciting thing about the Force Awakens for me. He was the character I was invested in the most.
Yeah, I absolutely.
And then when they just dumped on his character in The Last Jedi, and Rose was a terrible character.
Yeah, Rose. But I'm not gonna go attacking the actress like so many people did.
Yeah, that's
disgusting.
a real shame. that people would sink that low.
She didn't fucking
no,
write
she's
it.
just doing her job.
Yeah.
Just like us. We go to work.
She was fine. The character just sucks.
Yeah, she
Sorry,
read the
man.
script.
Yeah.
She didn't exactly.
Yeah, she didn't write it, but then the Star Wars like
some people
nerds
are
are like,
delusional, man.
yeah, they're like, hey, fuck you for being in this movie.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people are delusional.
People wrote her
man.
fucking death threats because they hated the character.
People
Go
are
fuck
straight
yourself.
up delusional. People are straight up
Absolutely.
delusional, and they care too much about.
It happens. It happens with fandom like that. It's a bad side effect of like massive fandom.
Exactly. I'm not quite sure what they're doing with Poe. The whole Poe and General Holdo back and forth was.
I think
very like she could have just told him what was going on.
That's my big gripe with it is that she killed so many people.
Like a lot of people.
Because she couldn't just tell him her plan. Stupid Laura Dern.
Stupid Laura Dern. Oh,
every time he was like
space was dumb.
I hated it. Yeah.
You know what I was really rooting for? They could have had me. What I wanted to see. There was the scene. It was basically what I'm saying is Leia should have died because the scene chilled me to the bone of Kylo, who's already murdered his father in his like Empire ship, looking down on his mother's ship, ready to annihilate her, and then he sends the order. They pull the trigger. They kill her. Kylo killing both of his parents, like that would have made me love him as a villain because then I hate him.
Yeah, exactly.
But then Leia just comes back. It's like, so why even build that up? What are you doing?
I know. I thought when it happened, I thought that was that, and then she force flies back into the fucking thing.
I'll give what's his name, Ryan Johnson, this. You can find old footage of him in interviews saying like he never wants to make a movie that's universally beloved. He thinks there's something wrong with a movie that's universally beloved. His objective with filmmaking is for people to just be divided about it so that they never stop talking about it. And it makes sense because here we are talking about it on my podcast.
People, I kind of agree with that. Like people, I feel like it's too to find something that's like so crowd pleasing. I feel like it's too like just like trying to cater to a certain audience, just like totally. Yeah. Just try to make your own thing, and if people love it, they love it. If people hate it, they hate it.
Exactly.
But if people talk about it more, then you've got the power.
That's the thing, dude. Is like the biggest currency in the world is attention.
Absolutely.
That's what everybody wants is your attention. That's why it's like, you know how much money people made with the whole fiasco with this Game of Thrones finale? Because that was very divisive. Yeah. And people can't shut the fuck up about it. Yeah. Case in point, I had a whole podcast about it. Right. You know how much money HBO is making because the show ended and people are still talking. People are still talking. Like, usually a show ends, people talk, and then it's just over. This shit ain't over. And they're also making a bunch of prequels.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, and I'm interested to see where, what is it, Rise of Skywalker? Is that what the new one is called? Yeah. I'm interested to see what there is, because it's like, oh, so Luke's not dead then? Cool.
If they make Rey a Skywalker, I'm going to be very upset. Yeah. I actually loved that they made that turn where she was like, oh, your parents were nobodies.
Yeah, I loved that.
I thought that's one of the things I love. Again, pretty much everything Rey and Kylo I loved.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Last Jedi. Everything else was garbage.
You know what? Did you hate...
Almost everything else.
Because there were so many people that hated, Luke's death, but then I found as people talked about it more, they didn't understand the death. Because I heard a lot of people
Perkowski, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
What?
Not to sound too much like a snob, but I feel like there's a lot of people who really don't know what they're looking at.
Yes. Because a lot of people who were complaining about it were like, oh, what, he was too tired from it and it killed him? It's like, no, he was finally at peace.
Yes.
He was finally at peace and could die happy.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Because
I liked the death.
No, the death made sense for his arc.
Yeah.
Me and my worthless opinion, I would have done his arc differently. But for what his arc was supposed to be, it was a perfect death.
Totally.
He made peace with his biggest failure. The whole Luke arc was about failure and picking yourself up from failure. The greatest teacher, failure is. Like, that was the whole point.
Yeah.
So his failure was his nephew Ben. He failed. I failed you, Ben.
Exactly.
So he faced his failure and is now at peace with where things are. So he was able to move on.
And maybe he's able to come back because his job's not done. Because it seems like he's going to be.
Do you mean that like people in the Star Wars world who die come back as Force ghosts?
Man, maybe.
No.
Maybe. Man.
I thought Yoda and Obi-Wan and Anakin. I thought they were the only ones. I didn't know they could all do it.
And the
Qui-Gon too, if you watch Clone Wars.
Qui-Gon, yeah. The only thing that I'm worried about is with Leia, is how are they, because she died before they
just
filmed
open
it.
the movie with her funeral.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Sure.
That could be just so cinematically beautiful.
I have full trust in
a space funeral.
Yeah.
You know what they used to do? I used to have this old video game for my computer called X-Wing.
Okay.
And what they would do is if your character died, instead of like cremating you or instead of burying you, they put you in a casket and they would just launch you into space. Like that's how they did things. I don't know if that's canon for Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I think that would be amazing if we just had this beautiful space funeral for Leia and then we just sent her adrift to the cosmos. Yeah. But my opinion's worthless.
Right.
Go on.
I have full trust in J.J. Abrams. I'm glad that they brought him back.
J.J. Abrams is like the guy who, he's just going to play it safe.
Yeah.
But still do a good job.
But yeah, and I think him closing out the new trilogy is what it needed. Honestly, they should have just kept him for all three films. They wanted to originally. I totally agree.
They originally wanted to do a different director for each film.
Yeah, and they originally did. They had the guy who did Jurassic World, and the Jurassic World movies are a fucking mess. They're awful, and the guy's a terrible director.
Hence why they're not letting him make the third movie. And they're like, "Hey, JJ,
so like, please come back,
just
man.
Play it safe."
I have full trust in what he's gonna do.
Oh, you know what, dude? I guarantee you, it's gonna end up like Return of the Jedi. Because it's Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. You're saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. A New Hope, The Force Awakens, you're saying the same thing. I don't know. It's going to be fun. I'm going to go into it. Look, I love Star Wars, and even though I didn't like The Last Jedi, I still enjoyed myself when I went to see it. Yeah, I feel like that's a lost art these days. It's like, we can't critique things and still love them anymore. It's like, if you have a critique of something, now you don't like it. Yeah. I don't know.
I had such a bad experience in the theater with that movie.
The Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I think one of the best experiences in life is going to a movie, opening weekend, having the crowd involvement. There's nothing like it. Honestly, there's absolutely nothing like it where you're all invested in a movie. But lately, I don't know if it's like society as a whole is getting dumber, that people need to talk through the fucking movie and they need to make comments. Maria and I went to see Us, the new Jordan Peele movie, a couple months ago, and like, if you saw the commercials, you know what the movie is. So you know that there's a family that looks identical to this family. And so we're sitting there and the guy next to us is like, "Yo, it looks just like her." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, that's the fucking movie." And like the comments did not. It was just shit like that for a fucking 2 hours.
Remember, I said this to you about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
People don't know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
But go on.
So then The Last Jedi, we go opening night. It's Thursday night, 11:30 showing. Sitting behind us is this fucking like 8-year-old kid with his dad and his dad's friends, and the kid is talking throughout the entire fucking movie, just like, "What does that mean? What are they saying? What's going on now? And I'm just like, pay fucking attention and you'll get it." And then there's one part where he's like, "I gotta go to the bathroom," and this heavy-footed little bitch starts stomping down the rows and through the aisle to get to the bathroom. Then comes back, stomping back, comes back. "What did I miss? What happened?" And then there was like a big thing with where Luke and Rey are talking for the first time, and it's important to the story, and so we're trying to pay attention, and he's just going, "What are they saying?" And his dad's just like, and finally the dad goes, "Shh," and then the kid's like, "Okay," and it keeps going. Then it gets to the part where Laura Dern like sacrifices the ship.
Yes.
So yeah, she goes like quantum speed or whatever the fuck it was. So then it happens and it's silent. You could hear a pin drop in the theater, and I thought it was one of the best parts of the movie. It was so well done. So this kid, as it's about to happen, he counts it down. Like he knows something's about to happen, and then goes 3, 2, 1, and then it happens. It's silent in the theater, and he goes, "Wait, what happened? You counted it, dude! You counted it down. What do you mean? What happened?" And then at the end, like, I hated
you counted it down.
Yeah, I hated this fucking kid. I've never hated a child. Something of pure innocence and joy. I've never hated something so much. I wanted to just yell at the kid, but I couldn't because it's his dad. But like his dad, like my guess is that like it's the dad's probably divorced and like it was his night with the kid, but he and his buddies had plans to go see Star Wars, and she's like, "You gotta take Tommy," and he's like, "God damn it!"
Oh man,
yeah,
that's hilarious.
But
I luckily didn't have that problem.
Maria and I have my girlfriend Maria, but maybe your audience doesn't. But
congratulations on your master's degree.
Yes,
Maria.
Yeah, she just graduated master's. She's starting her PhD program in the fall. So I'm very
excellent.
I'm very proud of her.
I just want to say thank the two of you for being sages of the lodge. You're two of the sages.
Of course, man.
Yes.
Yeah. So whenever we go to a movie now, it's like we can't get away from people who just talk through the whole thing. It's not like they're a couple rows back from us. They're right next to us every time. We can't get away.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you.
The movie-going experience is dying. There's too many dumb people out there that try to make it their own thing. They think they're on their couch. Like, they think they're in their
watching
living room.
Netflix.
Yeah. But they're like, dude, you've got 80 people around you who are trying to enjoy this.
Bro, I've had things like that, too. It's like I'm fine with clapping in the theater. Really?
Yeah, I don't mind
when
clapping.
something epic happens,
yeah,
clap.
Yeah.
But yo, I don't care what. I don't care. There's no reason you should clap in the first hour of the film. Nothing that tremendous has happened yet. We didn't get a climax.
No.
Nobody's arc just rounded out. Like, there's no reason to clap in the first hour of a film.
Yeah. Dude, Endgame, when the portals opened up, I thought it was...
Yes! Yeah, no, the theater went crazy. Yes,
crazy.
That was perfect. But I think my favorite part of seeing Endgame in the theater was...
spoilers if you haven't seen it. But
incoming
it's been a month.
Honestly, everyone has 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You have 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like you give a 2-week notice at a job, you have a 2-week notice when something like Endgame drops.
Yeah.
Before all bets are off.
If you haven't seen it yet, it's your problem.
Exactly.
Sorry, it came out over a month ago now. You should
fucking see it, okay? Fuck you. What was I saying? Yeah, but my favorite part, like that part when all the Avengers came out, Avengers Assemble, everyone went crazy. Yeah. That was great. I loved when Thor fucking decapitates Thanos in the beginning of the film, and you could feel the whole film just like, where do we go? What happens now?
Yeah.
One of the things I thought that was great about the film is the film felt lost for 30 minutes, and so did the audience.
Yeah.
And I think that was such a weird synergy because that's when they brought in all the awkward humor and everything. Because everyone's kind of like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, when it happened, I'm like, how the fuck did they get everybody back?
Exactly.
Thanos is dead.
Literally, your head starts going crazy.
Yeah.
It was such a great decision for them to go that route.
Absolutely.
Really, I liked. See, Endgame's one of those things where I have a lot of criticisms of, but I still loved it.
Yeah.
I still thought it was a good film. It was a lot of fun. It's one of my top Marvel films.
One of my favorite of
I liked
MCU,
Infinity War better,
okay.
but just because I felt Infinity War it was so neat.
Yeah,
it was so neat.
I think
very well packaged.
I think another thing is because Infinity War ended on a down note. Like a lot of people's favorite is Empire Strikes Back. You know, I think it's the Empire Strikes Back of the MCU. Because
it's how you leave feeling the theater. You leave like you're at rock bottom. You can only go up.
Exactly.
And that's actually a good feeling as like a viewer.
Yeah.
You know, it gets you excited for the next film. It's like, man, the amount of time.
How do they get out of this? Yeah.
Dude, how are we going to stop Thanos was my favorite question for a whole year.
Absolutely.
How are we going to stop Thanos?
I gotta see it again. I
want to see it again.
Enjoyed it.
I really thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. That luckily was something a lot of people were able to not bitch about.
Yes.
People seem to bitch about everything that comes out now.
Yeah.
Endgame
was
really
pretty universally like, man, that was great.
That was great,
It tied everything up.
Everything has its haters. Everything has its haters without question.
Sure.
But
thankfully I haven't heard too many.
No, there's none in my circle who hated the film.
Right.
My cousin Doug is really upset because he loves Thanos and he wanted Thanos to win. For his birthday last year, I got him like a 1.5 Thanos statue. Like it was because he loved Thanos. Yeah. He left Infinity War like, yes, Thanos won, baby.
and then he left Endgame like,
he's so sad. So exactly. He's like, oh, it's fucked up. Like Thanos should have won.
How could they do that? Like, he did nothing wrong.
So good. So good. But
you want to tell some stories?
Some stories.
Tell some stories.
Some stories. Yeah. What stories do you have in mind? What you're the one who wants to go to story time. What book did you bring?
Do you want to talk about the Khalil story?
Oh man.
Audience?
Oh man. See, Khalil isn't his name.
It's not? What's his name?
His name was Bradley.
10 years I thought his name was Khalil.
It's Bradley.
Okay.
God damn it. I'll bleep it in post. But yeah, so
Okay.
Bradley so Bradley had a this is back in high school, right?
Okay.
We're in high school now,
Yeah.
and for those who are listening, Chris and I go a long ways back. We
Yeah.
were in a bowling league as children. That's where we met.
Probably known each other for like 15 years.
Long for the majority of each other's lives, most certainly. So we didn't go to the same high school.
No.
But there was a night we were hanging out, and I was like, "Yo, man, we were seniors at this point. I was like,
Yeah.
some kid in my high school is having a house party. Do you want to come?" And you were just like,
Sure.
"Sure.
What are we going to do?
What are we gonna do?"
And you go, we're going to raid his fridge. Come back here and hang out.
And hang out. So we go to his fucking house. We go to this motherfucker's house, and I have to say, Bradley's a nice guy.
Okay.
Bradley's a good guy. I want to say that should this ever reach Bradley.
Okay.
Bradley's a good guy. Bradley's a nice guy. He was a troubled guy. And from what I've heard, he straightened himself out.
That's good.
And
That's
he's
good to
standing up straight with his shoulders back, and he's really crushing it.
So we get to the house,
Yes.
and it is a mess already. There's a huge crowd in the kitchen, and Bradley has the hose attachment from the sink, and he's spraying people with it to try to get
cool
them to
people
calm
down.
to
To
calm
cool
down.
people down.
Yeah, there's a bowl of fruit that people were throwing around. We walk in, there's a guy eating a fucking apple. We're just like, you eating an apple? He's like, yeah.
He's like, "Oh, yeah, of course. It's a house party, dude."
So then we get to...
I just want to say there's about, I would estimate, at least 80 people on this property.
yeah, easily.
At least 80 people on the property.
Yeah,
I'm
possibly
being
more.
conservative.
That's the minimum.
I'm
Yeah,
being conservative. Upwards of 120.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Lots of
Because
fucking...
there's a lot of people in the backyard because they
Lot-
can't fit into the house.
Exactly.
So
Running out of real estate.
yeah, so we squeeze our way into the house. We see people throwing a fruit bowl around. He's spraying the hose attachment at shit. Then something breaks. I think it's like a vase or something like that. He runs to attention there. We're like, all right, this is pretty fucking crazy already. And mind you, there's like 10 of us that went to this thing. We had to take 2 different.
So who do we
cars.
have? We had
It was
you,
you,
me,
me,
Pat
Pat-
Milano,
yeah.
John Robinson,
John 2,
John 2,
Serenita,
I think Chris Serenita was there.
Vogel definitely.
Vogel was there.
I think it was both J Robs.
Jesse
Jeremy as
Robinson.
well. Yeah.
I think Jesse Robinson was with us. I think all 3 of the
Yeah,
Robinsons
yeah,
were with
yeah.
us. You know, give or take. We're missing some people. The
Yeah,
Tyler
but there
Walls
was
and Monty's out there.
They were, yes, it was
Yeah.
definitely them. That was
You know,
definitely them,
there was a crew. Yeah, so we're at this fucking party.
Yeah,
and shit's gone wild.
Yeah.
Food is flying.
There's
children are running everywhere. Like
There's-
we're hormonal 16-year-old adolescents
exactly.
going insane.
Yeah, like people like basically like fucking on a couch.
Bradley's parents are not home.
No, they're not home.
They ain't coming home.
From what you told me, his mom was like, "Here's some money, have a couple friends over," and he was like, "Everybody come to my house,
Bro, the teachers in my fucking high school were like, "Hey, are you guys going to the party at Bradley's? Be safe."
Yeah. So
Everyone knew about Bradley's.
Yeah, we're watching the ping pong, the beer pong game. There's a wild game of ping pong going on. No, so we're watching the beer pong game, and this kid is like looking at me like he knows me, and he doesn't. I don't go to this high school, and so I'm like, this dude's out of his mind, drunk. I'm gonna mess with him a little bit. And so I'm staring at him back, and I'm like, "Oh, you're in my history class, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, "All right, cool, man. I'll see you on Monday." And he goes, "All right, dude, see you there." And then I'm like, "All right, man, that was fun." And so we're like, "All right, let's just try to do this. Let's get to the fridge." So you and I walk over to the fridge. We open it up. It is fucking bone dry, except for squeezable jelly.
We weren't the only ones with this idea.
and French toast sticks. So we're like, all right, I guess we're taking these. As I go to reach them, the door slams shut, and Bradley lifts me up and moves me, and he goes, "Don't do that."
Bradley was a big dude.
Yeah, and I missed something in between there. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to do that. But this kid comes up to us, and he goes, because there was a room that was locked that had, if I remember correctly, like a PlayStation and Xbox in there.
Oh, this is when you met Kano Weed.
Yes. So we were talking to him, and then this kid walks up again. I'm not going to name him. He walks up and he goes, "Yo, guys," takes out like 4 video games. He goes, "I stole this shit," and he runs out of the house. So after he moves me away from the refrigerator, something else breaks, and we find that it's like the fucking sliding glass door. Or something like, or no, that's later.
The screen door. It wasn't the glass door yet. It was a screen door.
Yeah, somebody like tore the screen door off the wall, off the door. And then I'm like, all right, let's get this and get the fuck out of here. So I put the jelly and the French toast sticks in my jacket. I zip up, and then there's somebody who had there was a hot glue gun in the kitchen for some reason.
For some fucking reason.
They had broken a cucumber, hot glued it back together, and put it in the bowl. And then these two guys are like, yo, let's hot glue the cabinet shut. And I'm like, all right, Nick, let's get the fuck out of here. And so then, as we're trying to leave, we hear sirens. Now, this house was on, if I remember correctly, like Merrick Ave and Jerusalem Ave. It was a busy intersection.
Yes, very busy.
So we hear sirens coming, and we're like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. And a lot of people scatter. But as we're running, we're like, oh, it's just an ambulance. So let's go get our
Everybody
crew.
goes back in.
So as we're going to go back in, that's when the sliding glass door shatters. And everybody starts scampering away. And
no! You're missing a detail. So it wasn't the glass door that shattered first. What happened was Bradley.
Okay.
Bradley lifted the sink up from the counter.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and one of the pipes burst, so there's water just spraying out to the middle of the shit. So now the party is a wreck, and then people basically break the glass door, trying to just like run out of the house. Break the fucking glass door, and that's when the sirens come.
Yeah, that's
the second round of sirens,
which were police cars.
Police cars. So we're like, oh fuck, party's busted. Yeah. So now a tidal wave of like 100 people are like fleeing this fucking property. Yeah. People are climbing on it looks like, what's the movie with Brad Pitt and the zombies?
Oh, World War Z.
World War Z. It looks like World War Z. People are climbing this fence, hopping the shed, and there's like 5 people on top of the shed ready to jump.
Trying to jump into the next
and
backyard.
As they put their weight down to jump, the thing fucking
shed collapses. Yeah.
So we're sprinting to the cars. There's sirens. There's lights everywhere.
And we're like, so first of all, and we see Bradley. He's like a
manic.
Fucking,
he's I don't blame him.
Brick and starts waving it around at people like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, literally, that man's got a brick. Go. And it's just a fucking wave of people just sprinting.
So we're all at the car, and we're trying to do like a quick head count. 9. Fuck, where's Pat? and then we look, and there's Pat, cool as a cucumber.
Strolling through the war. There is a war, ladies and gentlemen. There are cops. Yeah. There are people running in all directions. Yeah. And you just see Pat Milano strutting, baby.
Strutting his stuff.
He's got the car. Swagger in his step. Like, these guys ain't gonna fuck with me.
And we're screaming like, Pat, let's fucking
get in the fucking car.
And he gets in the car. He's like, dude, what's the problem? like, Pat, are you fucking crazy? Do you see what's going on?
In retrospect, I have to say, Pat made the right decision. Had we as a crew left that party walking through the storm, would have been an epic sight to see.
I think so.
But I recall this night ending with us going back to J-Rob's house, heating up the French toast sticks, dipping them in jelly, and we watched Zombieland.
Yes, I think that's right.
That's how our night at Bradley's house ended.
Great night. Do you want to tell the Taco Bell drive-thru?
The Taco Bell drive-thru story. That's one of my favorites, dude. So it's you, me, and J-Rob, isn't it?
I think there's more people in it. Do you meet J-Rob?
I think it's just you, me, J-Rob.
I feel like John 2's in there.
John 2 might be in there.
Yeah, so we go to the Merrick Taco Bell, which the Levittown... So just as a little precursor, the Levittown Taco Bell by me has a drive-thru where you can get out of the drive-thru lane if you want to. I thought all Taco Bells were like this, and they were not. So we get to Taco Bell with the plan to order like $50 of food and just leave. So we get to Taco Bell, and I'm ordering everything on the menu, and I order like 9 Mexican pizzas.
Like he's ordering for whole starving civilization. He was trying to feed Venezuela with this whole fucking order.
And then he's like, "Is there anything else?" And I'm like, you know what? I'm not really that hungry. I'm going to cancel it.
I'm not really hungry anymore.
and then I try to drive through, and there's like a wall. I realize that I can't get out of this lane. There's a pile up of cars in front of me. And I'm like...
You're boned.
Oh, fuck. because there's a car behind me. I can't back up. We're fucked. And so then we get to the window. I don't roll down my window.
He's just staring at you.
The guy's staring at me. And I roll down. I roll down a crack. And I'm like, yeah, can I help you? And he goes, did you order all that food?
No.
Did you order anything? I'm like, no. And he's like, drive around. He tries to slam the drive-through window, but he slams it
and it opens back up.
No, he tries to slam it, but it's like the automatic thing, so it just slowly closes. and then you start losing it. You're like, if you didn't order anything, then why are we in the drive-through? but
did you order anything? No, I'm just stuck.
Yeah, did you order all that food? No.
No, what are you talking about?
Did you order anything?
No. I don't. I'm on a lot of drugs right now, dude. I don't know where I am. That would have been a good bailout.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I really want you to tell one of my favorite stories of yours.
Which one?
Your roommate in college.
Oh.
You know which one I'm talking about.
I got to tell this story. I'll tell this story.
Please.
It's not a pleasant one, ladies and gentlemen.
For me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a pleasant story for me to tell.
It's pleasant for every listener.
Exactly, including Chris. So I'm going to ask you to enjoy this. So
I'm gonna sit
I was in college. I'm not going to say what year this is because I want to leave as little a paper trail to this person as possible because I want to say I really want nothing but the best for this person. Truthfully, things did not end badly with us. We ended on a pretty cool note, a pretty chill note. I want nothing but the best for this guy. But what I'm about to tell you is a true story. So, I'm in my room. I had a weird sleep schedule in college, as did everyone. But this is my freshman year, so I'm just like...
Oh, you just gave away the year.
Did I? Fuck!
You go.
I
don't want to
that's so hilarious.
And then 30 seconds later,
I'm
in my freshman year.
You know what it is, man? It's hard because I the only way I know how to tell a story is just to tell it to be honest. And all right, so I'm gonna try my best to leave as small a paper trail as I can. This is good because I had 2 different roommates my freshman year.
Okay.
So I had a weird sleep schedule because it's my freshman year, and I'm staying up till 2 a.m. I'm playing video games with my friends. We're being goons. We're going on late night adventures through the murder capital of New York. We're having a good time. Nobody's having more fun than us, right?
Right.
So I slept, I primarily slept between the hours of 3 to 8, and then again 3 to 6. I was on a dual sleep schedule.
Yeah.
I was sleeping 5 hours at night and 2 or 3 hours in between class and lunch.
Right.
So it's about 4 p.m. I'm falling asleep on my bed. I'm alone in my room. No one else is here. I wake up about 45 minutes later, and I see my roommate sleeping in his bed. I was like, oh, cool. He's home from class. Back to bed. I wake up. I don't know how long it's been. I'm kind of just fading in and out at this point. And now he's sitting on his bed, staring into space. And I kind of keep my eye slightly squinted. I'm like, what's going on with this guy? What's he on, dude? Because I don't really know him very well right now. I don't know him very well. I've known this guy a month. Mm-hmm. So I got one eye open a little bit. I'm just kind of peeking on him, watching him. And he just stares into space. He's like a statue. He doesn't move. So I end up falling back asleep. I wake up. He's now standing in front of his bed, still staring into space. I'm like, I'm just going to really watch this guy. What is he doing? Now I'm watching him, and now a grimace forms on his face. He starts smiling, like he's just concocted some idea. So I swear, my stomach sank. I was like, what is he doing? So he gets a little closer, and he starts walking towards me, and I swear the hair started going up, and he walks literally maybe within arm's reach of me. He's smiling, and I shoot up element of surprise. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? And he's like, I don't know. I was just watching you sleep. I'm like, watching me sleep? Do you think that's a normal answer? He's like, no. I mean, I didn't mean it like that. I was like, what? I'm like screaming at him. I'm livid. I'm scared. I'm confused.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I don't sleep. I got a weird eating schedule. College is new. It's a month. I share a room. What are you doing watching me sleep? And he just freaks out and runs out of the room. I called Residence Life and I was like, we need to talk. We need to talk. We need to fucking talk.
I need a new roommate.
Bless them.
Yeah.
They didn't give me a new roommate. They gave me my space. They're like, I think he just needs to be left alone after all this. Because this is just one of numerous stories. This was one of the first. It's a scary story. Freshman year roommates, when you go away to college, it's a weird experience.
Yeah.
But they shape you. And if there's anything I learned, sometimes, keep one eye open.
Right.
Sometimes keep one eye open. You never know what somebody's doing. You never know why they're doing it. They may not know why they're doing it. I don't know. It's not an enjoyable story for me.
It's very.
I take no
I
it's
take great pleasure in
I'm
it.
glad you enjoy it. I hope the people listening enjoy it. And to this guy who we're talking about, like, I hope you're well. I hope you're really well. I hope you're really, really well. Because he had a lot of redeeming qualities. But damn, this motherfucker.
Creeped you out. Something fierce.
Something fierce,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. So, I've had numerous roommates since then, and none of them have watched me sleep. None of them have smiled at the sight of me sleeping defenseless and vulnerable.
Right. Because who knows what he was going to do?
You know what's crazy is, like, I feel like he was just weird, right?
Okay.
Like, that's really what it was. He was just, strange.
Okay.
Strange. I'm weird. He was just strange. And I don't know what he was going to do, but I never feared for my life. I just kind of...
Yeah, no, I'm not implying that, but it's just, like, as he was walking towards you, like
smile. Yeah, it was just...
What,
it was just
what the
weird.
fuck was his plan?
I don't know. I mean, maybe he just wanted to watch me sleep. I know one of the things I used to do, like when we were getting along, I used to play pranks on him.
Uh-huh.
Like when we were getting along, I used to just like
maybe it was his idea of a prank. Yeah.
Bro, you know me. Like, I fuck with everybody.
Yeah.
If I can't fuck with you, like if you can't be chill enough that I can't fuck with you and you can't fuck with me, it's probably not going to work out.
Yeah.
Because jokes are funny. So I don't know if maybe that... It's very possible he could have just been trying to have fun. And maybe he had this idea he was going to play a prank on me, like maybe put my hand in hot water or something to make me piss my pants. Like
exactly,
it could have been a number of things. What made it weird was the lead up.
Yeah.
The sitting.
Maybe the smirk is him getting the idea, like, ooh, this is gonna be good, and then like he's trying, like, acting out, getting more excited and stuff, and then you foil his plan.
Yeah, by waking up.
Yeah. And screaming at him. Man,
college was so much fun. College was so much fun because you know what? You learn how to deal with all kinds of people. Whether you go away or you commute, that's one of the big things that you learn from college is how to deal with a lot of different people.
And I didn't have as many stories because I didn't go away. I commuted, but I know I live vicariously through the many stories that you had at college.
I've got a lot of stories.
I know you told one of my favorite stories you told on the episode with Daryl is the vending machine story.
Oh, the pool table
story. Yeah.
That's epic.
That's
epic.
Absolutely love that story. He's like, what was the guy screaming at you? He's like,
screaming at me?
There was the guy who's like interrogating you.
Oh!
Yeah.
Who broke that pool table?
Who broke that pool table?
And yo, honestly, I thought I was going to get expelled.
Right.
I was laughing so hard, I thought I was going to get expelled.
Yeah.
But they had nothing on me. I didn't do anything wrong, so I
Right.
couldn't do anything. But I was laughing in the face at the head of security.
Yeah.
They're like, you think his anger is funny? And I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you guys have the whole thing on tape. You're literally doing this because you're bored.
Yeah, you know who did it.
Yeah, exactly. But we got to wrap this up soon.
Okay.
We got to wrap this up. If you want to give yourself one last little plug,
Sure.
let the people know what you got going on. Let them know what's coming up, and let them know where they can follow you.
Sure. So again, the podcast is bi-weekly, so I have new episode coming. When are you going to be dropping this? Just so I know.
probably tomorrow, which is May 31st.
May 31st? Well, that's when the next episode of Pick Last Pod, not Pick Last Pod, of Charging the Mound is going to be coming out tomorrow, May 31st, same day as this. So you can catch it on iTunes or on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, anywhere the podcasts are found. And then the blog, I put something up every once in a while there. More of the energy recently has been getting the podcast up off the ground. So more posts are going to be coming on the blog soon, probably in the next week or so. And then to follow me at Dr._Perk on Twitter and Instagram. And obviously, like I said, the podcast is called Charging the Mound, and the blog is chargingthemound.com.
You heard it here. This wasn't his first time. It won't be his last time, but it's his second time. Chris Perkowski, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, man.
The whole blinking cosmos, with all its galaxies, and forever and ever and ever, whatever it is beyond that. What you might call God in the Western tradition, or Brahman in Hindu philosophy, or Tao in Chinese. Every one of us is really that, but we are pretending we aren't. And we are pretending with tremendous skill and deception. Who are you?